So today on the podcast, I have a very special guest. His name is Frankie McNamara. You probably know him as Meditation for the Anxious Mind. How are you doing, Frankie?
Namaste, brother.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Good to be here.
no problem. How are you doing yourself?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm. I suppose I was sitting around thinking about myself all day, as usual. wasn't doing a whole lot.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, anyway.
Yeah. So I'm from Dunshaughlin, County Meath. Everyone gets me confused. They think I'm from Dublin. It's a hoax. I'm not from Dublin. Um, I'm a twin. Not many people know that either because we don't look alike. People just think we're brothers. I started the meditation page. I suppose. Well, I call it meditation. It's far from that. I started the page at the start of the first lockdown. Um, I've always kind of had an interest in doing comedy stuff. And I would end up writing things and then I'd just forget about it and I'd go on to do something else because I do a lot of music as well. So, um, but I the idea basically came from uh, I noticed there's a lot of people who a lot of these gurus out there and people who pretend to be spiritual. I call them spiritual capitalists. Who who they'll just completely take advantage of people and act like they're spiritual. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just being honest about it.
So you have no interest in the spiritual and meditation world at all, really?
Oh no, no. Well, like if it makes me money, that's no. No, I felt like a bit of a fraud at the start because I actually meditate every day. That's the
Oh,
funny part of it. And then I realized that through doing all that stuff, I started seeing like listening to meditation tapes and hearing how shallow and a lot of these people are, and it's I started to wonder like what do they do when they're not doing meditation tapes, like maybe like beat their dog or do this horrible stuff. Like they're just nobody knows what they're doing when the cameras aren't rolling. So I was laughing to myself thinking about that. And then I started coming up with that character. The first thing I did was I oh god, it was a while ago now. Yeah, it was probably February or March. I started writing this little script that was like I'd have meditation music playing in the background, and I just say things like time to release the hounds, and like just stupid shit like that. And I put it up on my story. This was before I put up the meditation page, and it was just really really low quality, but people seem to enjoy it. So kind of just started from that, and then I started the meditation page, and that was it was slow for a while. It kind of only you probably only came across it the last couple of months, did you? It kind
yeah.
of got a little bit bigger the last couple of months, and I think from March to now I've been kind of consistently posting stuff. Some of it kind of caught on, and some of it was shite, But it was so I've been consistent with it, and then I think I started doing this thing called future predictions, where basically people would I'd put up a thing on my story, and people would put down their names, and I'd click on their page, and I'd give them a future prediction, based on what I thought they did, or what they looked like and what their interests were and stuff like that. So it basically it get I ended up slagging someone. Like I try not to hurt anyone's feelings on it, but I ended up like slagging someone on it, and they got and someone I know, and they got really offended, and I had to take it down. But sometimes you gotta take chances with it. So I started doing that, and then the page started catching on, and people just kind of became interested in it. It kind of plays off people's narcissism, and then it feeds off my own narcissism because people are seem to like what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I kind of make a joke out of it all because I remember saying like on my page, once I get 1,000 followers, I'll just stop, and my soul will be complete, and I won't need to have an Instagram page, and I can just go into the next dimension, you know. But people say that, and I don't feel any different whatsoever, you know, and I don't really think there is any difference. It's just nice to know that some people seem to like what I'm doing. That's all, you know. So, I do it regardless, and you know, I think it's funny now. I find that people, it's like, you know, bumping into someone that you haven't, like someone from school. You bump into them in a coffee shop, and you never really spoke to them in school. But then, like, that's kind of what my messages are like sometimes, because people I don't really know start, or I didn't really have much time for, start messaging me and going like, "Oh, how are you, man? How are you getting on?" And I have to have like an awkward coffee conversation with them. So there's a lot of that, but it's it all you know, I don't take it too seriously. I just have a bit of fun with it, and that's it really.
You're obviously anyway. You say you're living in Dunshaughlin, but the videos are kind of all based around Dublin. So you must have either lived there or spent a good bit of your time there as well to know these places.
Yeah, so I a lot of my friends are from Dublin. I went to school in Dublin, and I lived in Dublin for only about 9 months. I lived in Ongar. And that Ongar is like a different version of Kimmage, because Ongar is like the house or the flat I was living in. It was kind of like a movie set. Like the furniture didn't feel real. You know, it was like it was all from IKEA. And, you know, but I really liked it out there because everyone kind of just would mind their own business. And coming from a small village, and I love Dunshaughlin, but coming from a small village, you do get that kind of sense that everyone knows what you're doing, which I'm not mad about, you know. But I lived in Ongard, and I lived in Carpenterstown. I lived in really weird places.
Yeah, I've never been to any of those places. I was in Dublin
Yeah,
for seven
yeah.
years. Like,
Yeah, it's Ongar is a weird one. It's like nobody would ever really. It's not a bad place, but you never need to go there for anything. You know, so I was in Ongar, Carpenter's Town, which I liked as well. But there's not really any hub. It's just like a spar and a pub, and then like really nice houses. And I think I was down the back somewhere. But I had these weird kind of living situations where I actually shared a room with this really nice Italian guy, and but he was so clean that it did my fucking head in because I was messy, and if you looked, our room was split in the middle, so one side looked like heaven and the other side looked like hell, and so mine was hell. But it was just one of those places. I've lived in kind of odd living conditions. I suppose I probably shouldn't say any more about it.
when I first moved to Dublin, I was living in Crumlin. I was
Mm.
working in retail. So the very first night I was working in Crumlin in Centra, two guys came in and bet the shit out of the security guard, and then I was like, right.
Fucking hell.
I was like, here we go. This is going to be different than Kilkenny.
Yeah, yeah. And that's once they beat up the first line of defense, you're gonna have to put like a little ribbon in the cash register and just hand it over to them. Go, you
No,
know, just
they weren't even after us. The guy was kind of like walking, just security walking around, and then they said, "Are you looking at me?" kind of thing, and then it all kicked off, and there was a
yeah, yeah,
fucking blood everywhere, and guards called, and
yeah,
yeah, that,
yeah. Crumlin's got a lot. Was that a while ago now? Yeah,
that was about 6 7 years ago now. Sundrive Road in Crumlin,
yeah.
and then I moved up.
Dundrive Road,
Yeah,
Crumlin.
yeah,
That's Kimmage.
it's near enough to Kimmage. That's what
Okay, that's
that's
East Dundrive Road
yeah.
is Kimmage, is it?
That's where I was going next because the same guy had a Centra in Kimmage, and I ended up
Yeah.
working there as well.
What was that like?
It was interesting. Like, have you been to Kimmage or?
I
There's a good few people watch this podcast actually from Kimmage. If you want to say that to them,
And are they allowed to consume this Kimmage non-Kimmage related media, like, or will there just be some sort of ad block on my voice, like, because I'm not from Kimmage? Did I like I wonder who the leader of Kimmage is. I was actually speaking to Oh my god, I can't remember his name now, but I think he was. Think he is. He's a politician in the Labour Party, and he followed my page for some unknown reason, and I was messaging him trying to find out who I can talk to, what TDs I can talk to from Kimmage. So I am definitely gonna follow it up. I'm gonna write like an open letter to the politicians of Kimmage or whoever controls that monarchy over there.
Just to get to the bottom of what it is. Have you been there? Are you allowed
I've
there?
I've 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 driven. Well, I haven't driven through. I've been on the 83 bus, if you want to call it that. I don't know. They say that it disappears once you enter Sundrive Road. But I have been. I've driven through it. I've driven through. I don't even. I've driven somewhere and I don't. You know, up around James's Hospital, it all just blurs into one.
Yeah.
Like I think that was Kimmage. You know that long road of really nice houses. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And when there's traffic, you can be stuck there nearly for an hour. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
That's where it was, but I don't know if that's Kimmage. It could just be another place in Dublin.
I think it is Kimmage, but for me, Kimmage is kind of like when you come off Sundrive Road and you're going up towards, do you know where the KCR pub is? That's the heart of Kimmage there. KCR
Okay.
pub, there's a Centra there, a Tesco Express. That's where all the shit happens in Kimmage.
So there's a Tesco Express and a Centre. So Kimmage is actually more advanced than I thought.
There's a Mace there as well.
Is there
Mm.
a maze? I thought you
Yeah.
said a maze.
But there could be a maze there as well.
Well, the maze exists inside the mind of the Kimmagean. They're trying to get out. It's the collective Rubik's cube of Kimmage. You know, there's a few of Kimmage's bravest minds just trying to solve that cube and escape out the back entrance of Terranure.
I worked at a place, right, that after I worked at Kimmage, right, that nobody knew where it was. And I purposely didn't tell you about it until tonight to see if you know anything about it or anyone from there. If I say the name Perrystown, does that ring any bells to you?
It sounds like somewhere that'd have like an athletic track, but nobody knows it. No, I don't. I don't know it.
Yeah, I worked in Perrystown, which is about, it's only about not even, I'd say, a kilometre from Kimmage. And it's one of these weird ones that it's near Walkinstown, it's near Crumlin Village, and it's near Kimmage. Like it's all that triangle of Kimmage, Crumlin Village, and Walkinstown. Perrystown is there in the middle.
The Bermuda Triangle of Dublin.
So that's
Yeah.
somewhere you definitely need to check out.
So you're definitely not just making that up, no?
No, I had two people. I'll give you a good one. I had two people on the podcast in the past from, well, one of them is from Kimmage and one of them lives in Kimmage. I had a fella called Paddy Lee. He once played for Man United at underage level,
Okay.
but he had to give up because he had irritable bowel syndrome and a few injury
Yeah.
problems. And then I had a guy on the podcast there from the band, Irish band The Scratch. I don't know if you heard of them.
Yeah. I've heard the name. Yeah.
And they live in Perrystown. And if you look at their bio on Facebook, it says they live in Perrystown. So it's definitely something you need to follow up and have a look at.
Yeah. So do you think like do you have to be from Kimmage to play for Man United, or what is it, like the chicken or the egg? What comes first, Kimmage or playing for Man United? Do they all play for Man United just on the reserves team so we never see their face? I hear there's like this Kimmage button on some of these logos where they just press it and their face just blurs. You didn't see that at all, no?
No.
Okay. It's probably just
In terms of like doing this, and obviously it's getting more popular and that, have people kind of started to notice you that you don't know, or
yeah, a little bit. I haven't been out so much. Like out where I am, it's kind of like so I'm, like I said, I'm Dunshaughlin and everyone kind of knows you anyway. But I suppose, yeah, loads of people who I haven't spoke to in ages have noticed me, and I've been noticed a couple of times in person, and it was a bit weird, but it was nice as well. Like it's just, it'll take a bit of getting used to, but and then my head would go like, oh, go into the city centre and see if anyone notices you. I might just do a video about that, but then only cut it so that nobody notices me. and then I
Yeah.
just leave, getting on the bus, Iron bus, and talk about how I'm not going to wear a face mask just out of spite.
You've obviously been to Fibber McGee's anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to
Yeah.
love it. I used to love it. Yeah, I nearly said something I shouldn't have said. But yeah, I really used to love it. I used to. That's where I used to go there because I used to love drinking Buckfast, and that was the place where you could go in and get it, and you could just you could buy it and then leave. You know, which they had a takeout as well, and there I made a video about it a while ago, but there was I could spend hours talking about fibbers. Like there was always this kind of cohort of people, like the locals who were like famous in fibbers, and you might not go there for years, and you come back and they look the exact same, and they're like sitting in the same smoking area on the same seats, and the same smell of hash.
I was doing a few gigs there pre-pandemic, so hopefully when
Oh, cool.
shit gets back to normal, I'll be able to go there again. We were doing a few nights in there.
Yeah.
New metal versus hip hop was our night that we done in there.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so it's
Deadly.
pretty random, and you can imagine the collection of characters we get on a night like that.
Yeah. I'd say so. That was really like that was big. That would have been big in the early 2000s, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a bit
All that
late.
stuff.
The early two
No, no,
thousands
it's
though.
good. That's where then it's real nostalgic for a lot of people, I'd say.
Yeah,
And that's what I've been trying to touch on lately with the videos, because I feel like everything is really doom and gloom, and people kind of need, like, I know if the shoe was on the other foot, I like watching things that make me feel nostalgic, and it feels good actually writing about it as well.
yeah.
Just reliving things that you enjoyed in the past. Some of them I don't enjoy, like call centers. I never actually worked in a call center, but I've heard enough horror stories about it to know what it's like, and a lot of my friends work in call centers and stuff. Like, I wouldn't last 2 days in a call center.
I don't think
I just
anyone likes working at those places like at all.
no. That's an interesting thing though. People who like leave, clock out of a call center and go, oh, we think that went really well. Like that's a whole other kind of set of problems. Well, fair play to them. Like, I just couldn't ever do it, and a lot of the time I try to attack things I don't understand.
So talk to me about the customized videos that you do for people.
Yeah, so I have a link in my bio. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. And basically I do personalized meditations. And they're €40 a head. I was doing a closing down slash opening sale. But the spots are all gone, and that's how it's €40 each. There's only a limited amount of them available. I've done about 20 of them like so far. They're private, so I don't release them unless the person wants them released. So they're between 1 and 2 minutes long. So it's a little bit like the prediction. I'll add in photos of the person, and then I'll give them a meditation, and just kind of the way like my video. It'll be similar enough to how I do the videos.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing, and yeah, it's a bit of crack. It's I suppose people kind of would attach a bit. People like being recognised in some way, and so I think people, it's kind of catching on a little bit. It's good crack doing it, and you know it's just something I do on the side, but it's the goal going forward is to be able to do that full time. Do this page full time. I have a couple of things coming up in the summer that I can't, a couple of festivals coming up that unfortunately I can't talk about yet,
Yeah.
because they haven't been announced. I was thinking about it earlier, but I don't think I can mention it yet.
And
But
are you
there
gonna
are definitely things coming forward.
are you gonna go down the stand up comedy route?
Yeah, I that was something that a few people said it to me before, and it's something that I definitely consider.
Yeah.
Um, I suppose I've got real lazy with it now because I've done all this during the lockdown, and a part of me is thinking, well, you can just do it the way you're doing it, But going forward, you have to move with the times, and going forward, I'd definitely be open to that. And I had the idea. I was talking to Hugh Cooney, and he was saying we were talking about maybe renting out some sort of yoga studio, and doing like live meditations from there. And I think something like that would be funny, but it'd take a bit of preparation. But I'd definitely be up for doing that sort of thing.
I when I was in college, I was there to do stand-up comedy, and I'd done it, and I ended up doing about 20 gigs in Ireland.
Did you?
Yeah, I done
Wow.
good few in Dublin. I went to Derry. Derry was great crack. I actually got booked
Yeah.
into Pat Short's bar down in Castlemartyr one night as well. But
Wow.
yeah, the funny thing about that was I got there, right, and like my stuff that I had written was fairly edgy, let's just say. And I
Mm.
got there and it was full of old people, man. And the promoter was like, right, you can't really say fuck, and you can't say this, and you can't say that. And I was like,
Oh,
holy shit, man. And then
yeah.
I was doing the Halfpenny Bridge is a good place if you want to start there doing open
Yeah.
mics on a Tuesday and a Thursday. I'm barred from
Okay.
there though.
Are you? What you got barred for? Can you talk about it here?
I can't really say it on this, but let's just say that
Tell me afterwards.
I'll tell you afterwards. And they wouldn't let me back unless I changed my material. And then I said, you know what? Fuck you. Even if they see this, I don't care. I just said you can't
Yeah.
censor comedy, no matter what it is. Like you can't censor it.
Yeah.
And that was like probably 10 years ago. So where we are
Yeah.
now in the kind of PC world, I definitely wouldn't have been able to get away with what I'm
So
saying. you
that's
know?
very rare. 10 years ago that would happen.
Yeah, exactly. But the way things are now, I'd say it's even worse. Like, there's nothing worse
Yeah.
than having maybe comedians going on stage and being cautious in case they offend someone. Because I think, yeah, if you're going into a comedy night, you really have to have an open mind, I think.
Yeah. I think there's definitely some people who would worry about that more than others, and then there's some people who don't really give a fuck. And the
Yeah,
people who don't give a fuck seem to be the ones that get away with it. But I think like anything, everything happens in a cycle, and once there's too much pushback from this, we'll go back, I hope, to where people don't care as much about what you say, and they don't care as much about words. As long as they're not directly meant to be hateful towards someone. But you kind of have to. Yeah, sometimes you have to break a few eggs to get an omelette, with this
yeah,
stuff. And some people are always going to get their feelings hurt. But I suppose if your motives aren't to hurt anyone, and your motives are just to be funny, it doesn't really matter what you say.
yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, it was great having you on the podcast today, and best of luck in the
Yeah, thanks
future.
very much.
I look forward to seeing your announcements, see what the hell's going on.
Oh yeah,
Look
yeah, I
forward to
can
it.
I can tell you after this. Yeah,
Okay, grand. We'll end it there, so.
yeah, yeah. Thanks very much for having me, Morris. I
Cheers,
appreciate it.
man. Thank you. Bye
Okay,
bye.
thanks.